Brian Perillat. I'm the manager and senior analyst with CanFax. We're a division of the Canadian Cattlemen's Association. Today I was talking about cattle markets, cattle industry, and outlook and opportunity and constraints, I guess. And for starters, it's been a pretty good run in the cattle industry and cattle markets. The last 2 or 3 years, we've seen prices double and triple, and the outlook looks really positive in terms of prices moving forward. Overview is got cattle supplies are extremely tight as herds have been sold off, and global and North American demand has been very strong as consumers are willing to pay up for beef, and that supports cattle prices all the way down the chain. I think the big question here for the Canadian industry is we've shrunk. Our herd is the smallest it's been in 20 years, and are these kind of prices, are we going to see expansion? And we thought finally the profitability in the cattle sector has returned and some more enthusiasm. We thought we'd get some expansion, and now we're facing some dry conditions and a little bit of drought stress in areas, and how much of a sell-off or reduction of cattle numbers we're going to see. We think we'll probably hold steady, but moving forward we think there will be some expansion. And I think longer term our outlook for the next 3-5 years has elevated fairly strong prices. Most of the rallies occurred, but at least we should be able to maintain some historically high prices. Opportunity-wise, again, the cow-calf sector is a big beneficiary of this and look to be profitable. I think some of the challenges we talked a little bit about was feed supplies. Canada's, we've got to keep cattle in Canada, and with barley crops being smaller and U.S. feed costs coming down, we can continue to see cattle go to the U.S. in a big way, and that puts pressure on our feeding sector and our packing sector potentially. And I think we need a healthy and vibrant, each sector needs to be strong, and that'll encourage more growth in the cattle herd. And ultimately resources, can the cattle industry attract the resources in terms of land for forage production for the cow herd? Labor, can we get new entrants and more people to expand their cattle herds and be confident in the cattle industry and cattle markets moving forward? The outlook looks good, and biggest driver too is Canadian dollar and lower feed costs supporting our prices. And I think the overall expectations have certainly changed, and that's a challenge for producers to get their head wrapped around these new values and have confidence in investing in the herd. And obviously management and wise business decisions is critical. Now we're looking at bred heifers that are double what they were a couple of years ago. So producers can make sure they access the best information in terms of market information, as well as all production things. In a year like this, feed, understanding feed costs and feeding alternatives and improving herd management and pasture management is always critical to move the industry and businesses forward. And, different provincial organizations and provincial governments and there's private industry consultants and things like that that can help producers be more forward-thinking and improving management. And ultimately, it's a big part of it, building relationships. Marketing is key. Knowing feedlots and the packing sector, what kind of attributes are consumers wanting, but also what kind of attributes are feedlots wanting in terms of animal performance, herd health programs, and marketing your cattle to fit a specific time period or a specific sort of the attributes of these feedlots you're looking for to derive more value for your cattle. And that's about getting to know people through the entire supply chain.